Alright, Elite Code 3 here. Today we have a Mailbin, but it's going to feature specifically PSA slab cards. So I think there's 10 or 15 cards in here, so it'll be a lot shorter. But we're just going to do this one a little bit different. And I think they're all Hall of Famers. There might be a couple modern cards in here somewhere, but so starting off with 1982 Donruss, Nolan Ryan. I broke a box of this last week, and so I definitely know that it can be a pretty tough set. That being said, this Nolan looks fantastic. Pretty much 50-50 centering right to left, and yeah, looks great. So to check the pop on that one, it's always interesting to see how tough these sets really are. 83 Donruss. This one's got like a wax stain on the back. I think PSA allows that sometimes. See that little speck right there? And centering looks good on this one. I've broke boxes of this before too. I think I've got one coming too. So maybe we'll do a box of this on camera. And then this one, I wasn't really impressed with this one. So it's 81 Fleer, and it's PSA 10, but I don't like this edge on the back here. See that chipped white edge? It seems like a bit much for a 10. And then one of these corners looks a little suspect. It's harder for you guys to see it than it is in person. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just being a baby. But a PSA 10 card should look like PSA 10 cards. That's why you're paying the premium, right? I mean, you want a card that looks great. So 82 Fleer. So just picking up some PSA 10 Nolans I didn't have. I also have a box of this 82 Fleer. So there's still a bunch of older baseball boxes that I want to do on camera. Maybe eventually I'll get back into football, like older football boxes, but I just have a strong desire to break baseball. I don't know why. 79 Tops. This is an 8, so a very respectable grade for the 8. And he's already about 10 plus years into his career by this point. So 79 Tops. Okay, this one's cool. So this is an 8.5. The coloring is something that you will notice with the 85 Tops, and especially this card is coloring it, not issues, but just variations almost. Like sometimes the background will be lighter, darker, his face. This one kind of has bold, vibrant colors, and it's centered pretty well. It's just got this one little corner, the bottom left front one. I think that's why it's an 8.5, or else it might be a 9. So fantastic looking mark, and good price too. Couple Rogers here. So here's a mint 9. Of course, I broke a box of this a couple months ago, and I pulled 2 Rogers that both went to PSA. So, and honestly, they look as good as this mint 9. So, you know, it's always nice to think of getting a PSA 10, but I'm probably gonna get 9s, which is okay. But that's a beautiful Roger, and this 8.5s looks awesome too. But you might not be able to catch it on camera, but this left front edge, it's just it just doesn't look perfect. I don't know how to explain it. It's right here. I think that's what they got it for. So a couple Roger Donruss rookies. Love the Donruss Roger. Here's Puckett. 85 Tops Puckett in a mint 9. So of course this is a huge card in a PSA 10. I think it's like 350 or higher. Maybe one day I'll buy a PSA 10 on one of these. I mean, for me to spend that much, it would have to look pretty much perfect. Like I wouldn't want to spend a bunch of money on a 10 and it looks just like a 9. It just doesn't make sense to me. I mean, this card looks awesome. It looks as it probably, if you stack this up to a bunch of other 10s, I bet, and you put something over it like this, and you had somebody pick, you know, the best looking ones, I bet this would stand up. So some 9s just look better than others. Like this one didn't look that great. It's just got some surface, like a little red surface dot above his helmet there. You see that? The centering's 60-40 at best. So not all 9s are created equally, and the same goes for all grades. So David Ortiz, this is a cool one. Just trying to pick up some David Ortiz cards here and there. I think I talked about this in one of my previous videos. I'm focusing on 97 to 2002. So here is a PSA 10 of the 99 tops. Here's the only modern card. It's a Moncada Mint 9. This is like a $1.25. It's probably got like a scratch surface or something. But Mint 9 in the lighthouse holder. Here's another Tony Gwynn. This is the Fleer one. And this one looks great. 60-40 centering from right to left. It almost looks 55-45. It's not bad at all. It's a crispy copy right there. I mean, after you buy these cards raw, and then you get one that's mint in, you really have more respect for the card, because a lot of the cards that I buy raw are pretty rough when they come in. 83 Donruss Boggs. This is like $50 plus shipping. Can't really go wrong with that price. So, love the 83 Donruss. And that card's sharp. That's an absolute blazer of a card. This is a neat one. 69 Topps Ink. It's kind of cool how the background's like pink on this card. Peach pink. But this was slabbed a while ago. It's in one of the older holders. But it definitely looks nice. That's a beautiful 8. This will just go into the Hank registry. And I think I have a 7.5 that I'll list and keep the 8. Definitely passes the eye test. So there's a Hank 8. And then this Mantle is a PSA 5. So no, the question is what makes separates like a 5 from an 8, and I would say just by staring at this card, the first thing I look at now is the centering. You know, I mean, this is like 70-30, 75-25 centering, and the top to bottom is off a little too. But that's to be expected. The corners almost push in a little bit, and they almost look a little bit worn or dirty. That's just from like aging. Maybe they were sitting in a shoebox or something. And then on the back, you'll see that too. So when you do buy a PSA 5, it's not like you're getting a horrible card. It's not creased. It doesn't have any issues like that. It's just like the fine details of the card aren't as nice as the 8s and even the 7s. So, but it's still an awesome card. You have a piece of history. So I wouldn't obsess about getting really high grades with the vintage. Just buy something that you like, player you like, a card that you think looks good, and just go from there. 67 Topps Mantle. So you know the main thing going on here is you've got pretty rough centering, but I mean everything else looks pretty good for a 6. That's cool. I think this will go into my PC. I don't think I have anything higher than a 6 of this card. So, Mantle 6. Here's a huge card. 67 Topps. So the same set, but we're going over to Clemente. That's a PSA 8. Yeah, and the difference between the 6 and the 8 is pretty evident. And the last card is an 82 Donruss Cal 10. So 2 of these were pulled last week in the box break that I posted. And, you know, I'm not being biased, but the ones I pulled, I think one of them looks just as nice as this. So I honestly think I have a chance at a 10. Maybe I'm just being positive, but when you look at enough cards, you just kind of have a feeling sometimes. Pack pulled 10s of a card like this would be like a awesome story. So there's the Cal. These run about 200 to 230. Great card though for that much money. I think that's it, guys. That's the Slabs. Fun little video we had.